Hello and welcome to Sobricks. I'm Adam and this is Sobricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the relatively new-ish Lego City Jungle Explorer Water Plane set. This is set number 60425. It has 177 pieces and I paid $23 for this set. I think this one came out maybe August 1st. I was actually really excited about some of the new City Jungle sets. I haven't looked at any, I don't think, yet officially on the channel, so excited to get it into this one here. I know there's a couple other ones that I would really like to get. The one with the red pandas, the one with the great apes, gorillas or whatever, the one with, I think, the tiger and the van. All of those look really interesting to me. I love getting more animals. I like the color scheme. There's some throwback stuff to some themes or characters from the way back, which is very cool and exciting. And I kind of, I like how Lego City does these kind of mini sort of themes within it. There's your construction stuff. We just had a lot of space stuff in the city line that was kind of across a lot of different themes. They also did kind of like a Arctic thing for a while, or kind of like ice. They've done, deep sea exploration, all different stuff. I think going to the jungle here is a really great idea, and I'm excited to take a look at this. $23 is a little bit of a odd price, but we'll see how I feel about that. So in this video, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego City Jungle Explorer water plane set, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and then remind you, if you like the video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That helps me a lot, means a lot to me. We start off here with the first bag of pieces, building the terrain, kind of this jungle cove, water, river area where these crocodile alligators might be, and then we move on to building the water plane. So we start with kind of the hull or the main body or the fuselage or whatever that might be called. This is a pretty economical build. It has actually kind of more internal space in it than I thought, given its overall external dimensions. We add on the wings, the rear, and then the floats. So now on to my review for this set. Okay, so that is this Lego City Jungle Explorer water plane set. This is pretty cool. Yeah, overall pretty great, about what I expected, but also maybe better than I thought, although I think the images actually do a pretty good job representing what comes in the box here. So we will get into it, and the first thing we will look at is the minifigures, because you do get some. I think these are essentially just generic explorers. Excuse me, they could be affiliated with some organization or something like that, but the first one we have here has a compass, that printed tile as an accessory, as well as a camera, using like the camera body piece, and then 2 extra pieces for the lens. We can remove those. I really like this hairstyle. I'm not sure if have seen this hairpiece before. I'm guessing maybe I have. It's a little bit unique, kind of draping over one side, has sort of a braid in the back. I like the color for this one. This character is kind of giving a wink face, has some freckles maybe there. It does have an alternate face here. Looking at the torso, it seems like they have kind of a vest on with clip and a zipper and a strap, maybe a GPS or compass or something on over here. Nothing on the midsection, nothing on the legs. Back of the torso is kind of the back of the vest there. Not too much going on, but good torso. I think new for this jungle theme, or this revisit to the city jungle. And the other one we have here is another explorer, maybe is the pilot. It's represented that way in some of the images, but I think they could be interchangeable. This one has a printed tile as a map, which is really cool. I actually like this map. Good to get that printed. They also have a big wrench here. They have kind of this pilot helmet with the goggles. They're kind of old school looking adventure stuff. I think I have the goggles on there upside down just for where the nose bridge on the glasses falls, but maybe they're... Yeah, I think this is correct now, so we can pop that off. This character has some facial hair there, kind of medium expression, showing a little bit of teeth, a raised eyebrow. No alternate face for this one. Also, no hairpiece for this one. Maybe this character is someone who doesn't have hair or chooses not to have hair anymore, but sometimes they've been putting in the extra hair pieces just in case people want. I always think that's really nice. Kind of would have liked one here just because it doesn't cost them too much, and I think it adds a lot. I love this torso. So we have kind of the jacket over there. I don't know if it's a pilot's jacket or something, but we have, I don't know if it's a name tag, a badge, or something under there, but then underneath we have what looks to be kind of like a Hawaiian shirt button up there with really nice pattern. So that layering is really great for me. I like the silver for the zipper, and overall I just think the pattern underneath the shirt is kind of, it's mostly covered up, but really nice. I think the production quality is quite good as well. Nothing on the midsection. The legs do have some printing for some pockets, kind of some cargo pants there. Back of the torso is pretty simple, so good to get those two figures. A couple accessories. I like the printed map, and yeah, these torsos I think are new and pretty good. They're produced well as far as I can or in my opinion. Like the printing all seems good. There's not like weird bleed through. I think the color choices are smart and good, so I like that. And then besides the minifigures for these city jungle exploration sets, we do get some animals, which is very cool. So we get this one's like a baby crocodile or alligator or something like that. I think Jang calls them crocodigators. I might call them aladiles or something, but this is a baby one here, just one stud on the back. It's all one piece, can be studded down. Do have the printing for the eyes in there. The color is good. It's kind of it's like a pale green, sand green maybe, but a little bit lighter, a little different color, so good to get that. And then we get two other of these alladile crocodigator pieces here, which are actually, or molds here, but they're actually 4 pieces that go into this. So the body with the studs on the back, the legs, and the lower jaw is all one piece. Then we add the upper jaw there, which has the eyes printed on it. That's its own separate piece. And then the tail is its own piece, so we can move that around, and that's held in there just with one of these half Technic pins with the stud on the bottom. So you can kind of swivel the tail back and forth. You have the ridges along the back. I really like how like the ridges kind of end up lining up with the studs. That feels really smart and cool to me. So we can attach things to the back of this. We do have some studs there to give this alligator crocodile a jetpack, or attach them to anything else. We can look at the bottom here to see where they can stud down. The two of these are identical, I believe, which is good. The eye printing looks pretty good, so you do get 2 of those. These do not have the, back in the day, alligators, crocodiles, and the dragon mouths were very similar, and because of that they had a spot inside the lower jaw for the dragons to put a flame piece in there, and you could give crocodiles or Komodo dragons or whatever they are representing a fire breath, and these don't have that, but there is some opening in there, so feasibly stuff could go in there. Pretty good range of motion there. No like articulation for the legs or anything, but these are good. I think this is a alligator crocodile design that they've had for a little while here, and nice to see that. Nice to get 2 of them in this set. And then we do get a bit of a terrain, and maybe where the alligators, crocodiles are sort of living. So this is a jungle type thing here. It does use this system that we've seen in this theme, but also in like recent Harry Potter sets with the Forbidden Forest stuff, is that we have like the brick with the vertical bar coming off of it on one side and a brick with a clip on the other side. So these are like little modules that could be connected together, and that's the same for other terrain builds within the new Lego City Jungle here. So we have this little kind of cove area, kind of a cavern. It starts off with some plates, big rounded plate here. You start building up the back and tiling it out. So we do have some translucent like light blue in there to maybe indicate some water. I like the kind of archway here, and then we have a clip in the middle with the leaf piece, which can kind of cover that up, which is nice. You can also move it to get out of the way. It feels organic. Also keeps this kind of hidden. Some stonework here on the shore, as well as a frog in a nice color. I don't know if that's like lime green or like a kind of a bright green color there. And I know there are some frogs in some other colors in some other Lego City Jungle Explorer sets that I'm excited to get. I always love getting new frog pieces, and whether they're overtly or in there or merely representing frogs, or if they're used in other creative ways, I always appreciate that. And then we have kind of a rock formation, kind of a cave here, with some different slopes, angled pieces, some floral pieces up top, as well as kind of a vine or a branch over here. And that's kind of everything there. There are a couple 2x2 jumpers in the translucent, so we could put a Aladile in there, like the baby one could be in there, maybe hiding, or the smaller one in there, and you could have this fit through there as well. It's not the easiest to get the alligators through here. It's a pretty tight squeeze. I don't know if I can get them studded down easily on there. Just looking at the back, the way maybe the rear legs can do that, and I might have to move the I'm knocking off a lot of pieces here. And can this not? I thought I could stud that down, but maybe I can't, and maybe the it's really meant for other things to be under there. But you can get this to pass through without too much trouble. It's not perfect, but it's okay, and I would say there is enough room to have that. And then we can kind of have a little play feature here where the crocodile might be in the cave and might emerge from behind this vine or this plant life, might scare some of the explorers, or maybe they're in there just hiding from their explorers and they don't want to jump out. So then we get that, and then we get a water plane here, and this is great. This is kind of the main thing of the set, and this is really competent here. It's good. It has some good weight to it. I think the design is nice. There are no stickers in this set, which is great. So printed tile for the map, and then the kind of explorer logo emblem on this kind of tail fin here at the back, or tail wing, is printed on both sides, so that's really cool. We do have the big floats. Those are actually like the last thing that you add, and they connect in a cool way. They're pretty easy to take off. These aren't super insane here. They're not as big or bulky as like the somewhat in the last couple of years the Friends seaplane. They're not nearly as round as that, which is nice, but the colors are good. So you've got the orange kind of inverted slope pieces down here, a big 4x 10 to connect those. A little bit of green tiles up top, kind of flatten those off, and then we have these slopes there. And then when it connects to the bottom of the plane, in the center here, these 4 studs just connect to the bottom, and then the top of these slope pieces kind of connect just under the wings and another level there. So I like that a lot. I'll leave these off for now so we can look at the rest of this. You start out by building the rear, I believe, using these kind of inverted slope kind of hull pieces. You do extend that out a little bit, add on one of the kind of little extension pieces in there, some gap, and then it's not perfectly symmetrical on the inside, but the overall shape, from here to here is very similar, sort of mirrored in some way. And we do add the internals pretty early on, and so we can pop off the canopy and the wings here to see that. We have just a single kind of steering yoke lever up there. We do have space for 2 minifigures to occupy this, which is really nice. Potentially a little bit of storage back here. You could drop the compass in there. You may be able to find a way to get the camera sort of in there as well, but that might kind of interfere with where a figure would sit. But you can get the figures in here, and there's room for their arms to be at the side, which is nice. This is a pretty narrow plane. It is essentially 4 studs wide, maybe a little bit less. So to get the figures in there in tandem like that, but comfortably with their arms not having to be put in a weird way or anything like that, feels good. You can see them just over the top, which is really nice. So good that we can accommodate both figures in here. I think that's important, really strong. With the top roof and wings and windscreens removed, we can see sort of how this was achieved. So we do have some nice studs on the side building here, using different brackets at the rear, brackets at the front, and then all this color blocking is done with brick build tile work, which is really nice. So the transition from the orange to like the dark blue to the white there is really like fluid, making nice use of these triangle tiles, these corner tiles in there, which is great. So again, these sides are mirrored, and then because that makes the wall here less than a brick thick, we do have a little bit of space for the arms, which does make it a little bit roomier than one might expect from something that's maybe only 4 studs wide. The wings make it wider, and even the tail wings there make it wider. We do extend out the back of this, not a ton, just a little bit, but it's something. So we work a little bit off the rear to give it some extension. We have the wing there, has kind of these, the same piece actually used for the steering here, that hollow stud with the bar coming off of it there to kind of either accentuate that, or maybe those are some other mechanism on the plane for this. We have the different lights here, which is standard. We have the struts or the supports for the wings, which are superficial. They're for design, I think, mostly, but that's good that they considered that, and they're pretty simple. And then I really like the front, how the front was done, because the angles taper really well. I actually wasn't sure how it was going to work, and it ended up more convincing than I thought it would be. So the slope down here, of course, then we have the slope in, which is similar to the one back here, but we combine that with the top, which has these relatively new pieces that have been used in Speed Champions and stuff. So it's this like angled brick with a slope. I don't know what the exact term for it is, but those pieces there kind of taper this down the side, but also forward, which is really nice. And I didn't know how the connection, or like how these were going to look joined together here with this edge coming up against the edge of this slope piece there, but I think it's actually pretty convincing and pretty well done, especially when looking at it from the front, because it is obscured a little bit by the kind of octagon helm type piece there. But even looking at the top, I think this slope kind of meeting up with this slope is good design. We have the propeller up front. There's not like a weird color in the middle for that Technic, axle with the pin on the end there. Propeller does spin, not, insanely well, but it definitely does spin. And then we just have the canopy. This is super simple, only 5 pieces here. So the front and rear windscreen are the same. When you build this, you attach those to the 2 studs up here, the 2 studs back there. Then we add on the wing pieces, which are just studded down with 2 studs each. Then we add kind of this roof piece up here with the 2x2 in the center of it. We add that at the end, and that holds everything kind of together. So then this can be removed as kind of its own sort of assembly. It's not too difficult to reattach it. It's not too difficult to pop it off. I'm not too worried about that. So that gets access in there, which is good. The wings are very, very basic. They don't have, any extra details, so we do get some exposed studs up here, which is nice, I think, for this. And this feels like a very serviceable plane, kind of prop engine plane there. And then we can add back on the floats to kind of give a full thing here, a full kind of look at what this all has going. The way the floats are done, it does kind of glide relatively easily, and then we can see it all coming together. Again, I like how this angle kind of, when looking at it from the profile, matches up with some of this, because these pieces used here are essentially like this piece cut in half lengthwise, which is nice, and it's very stable, feels good, super swooshable. I think probably the wings, the proportions are a little bit goofy, and that's okay for Lego City, and I don't mind that. And there's easy kind of modifications that could be made to this, either extending out the back, or definitely making the wings more detailed, perhaps, and maybe with some different tiles or anything on there, but also maybe making them a little bit wider, having a little bit of a bigger wingspan. But I think that's all pretty cool. There's no real like storage in here for everything, so the minifigure accessories, I don't know the best way to like fit them all in there. It might just be that it has to go in their laps, or kind of fit in between them somehow, and I'm sure there's a way to do it where it's not, it's not impossible. I don't know how practical it is, or how I guess it's a little more cramped in there, and you'll have some things rattling around, but it didn't take me too much effort or time to kind of get those all in there, which is good. But there is no like storage compartments around the back. There's like, even under this tile, maybe there could be something up at the front. There is potentially some room for something there, but they didn't opt for anything there, which is fine. And at least I can get the map, the compass, the wrench, and the camera inside the plane with them. It's kind of haphazardly put in there. There's maybe a better way to arrange it so it would be better, but they're all in there now, and that is a semi-success in my opinion. I always do appreciate that, and that is kind of everything for this set. I guess the last thing I would want to say is we do have a little bit of studs here, just 4 on each of the floats, which I don't know if it shows it on any of the images here, and I'm not sure if it does at the rear, but I do like the idea of having a character like studded down on there, or standing on there, as this maybe lands in a river or something like that, and to get on and off, and I don't know what they're necessarily doing here interacting with the Aladial, but they can be studded down on the float on the edge there, which is cool. And I think that's it. So I'll show the extra pieces here because you do get some. You get an extra of the goggles or the visor for the kind of pilot hat there, extra of this like sprig piece which is used in the leaf, the translucent tiles used for the lights, the flower stud there, also the compass tile, your 1x1s, your studs, your tiles, little half Technic pin with the stud on it, all of that good stuff. Not a ton of them, but those are your extra pieces that I would expect. And this set is 177 pieces, and it retails for $23. That's what I paid for it, $23, which is a weird price. You know, for a while I thought Lego was like, okay, it's going to be $20 or it's going to be $25. At a certain point they started moving kind of more in between things, and now we have things at $27, $28, $38, you know, all sorts of places in between. I think this isn't really relevant to this set in particular, but I would love, you know, $7 sets in between a polybag and a $10 set, but and then also like the stuff that's like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, there's actually some, depending on the theme, some good options in that range, but this is sitting between the 20 and 25 for a little less than 200 pieces. You get 2 minifigures that are quite good. You get 3 animals. I would say the Aladiles are kind of medium-sized animals. You know, compared to a Jurassic World dino, they're pretty small, but compared to other city animals, I would say they're like medium-sized. They're probably less plastic and stuff than maybe the new tiger and the new kind of gorilla molds that came out, and those probably were new, I believe, and new printing and stuff for those. These I think were already in production, but that's okay. So we do get those. We also get the babies. So 3 animals there. One's relatively small. You also get the frog, and then we get the terrain here. Not a ton of pieces used up in the terrain. It is relatively small. I like that it can be added to, or this can be added to something else to kind of build out this jungle area. And yeah, I think this is pretty good. It's serviceable for this. I don't know if it's perfect. You know, I thought I would maybe get a one of the bigger Aladiles studded down in there, and then just the whole kind of fitting them through here is a little bit closer than I would have wanted. So maybe a little bit wider on this could have made that a bit easier, but still nice to get a little bit of terrain here, and it feels like there's integrated play, there's storyline here, there's narrative, and I think that's all pretty good. You know, thinking about the amount of stuff here, if I try to break it down, you know, these minifigures might be $2, $3 a piece, or the kind of standard $5 a piece minifigure, but I wouldn't say that for them, but that might be, you know, $4 in minifigures here. The Aladiles might be $1 or $2 each. So with the animals and the figures, we're getting, you know, into the $7, $8, $9 territory. This plane itself might be into the $12 to $15 territory, maybe even a little bit more. It's not you know, it is the kind of bigger thing in terms of the set. I can't remember what the Friends one retailed for. I thought that one retailed for $20, but could maybe be found on sale for down to like 16 or something, and I don't remember the piece count for that one either. Obviously it's a different style, different thing, but you know, this is a pretty big ish seaplane or waterplane. I think this is bigger than a $10 city box, so that's probably bumping it up into a $15 box, and that makes sense to me. And then the little bit of the terrain here, all in all, I think that pretty much will add up to $23 if it's $15 here and $8 for the rest of this stuff, the animals, the minifigures, and the little jungle cove there. That gets us to 23. So I kind of think this is okay value, even despite the piece count. No stickers, and the design is pretty good. The build was fun, if relatively simple, which is good for this. You know, if I had my way, $20 would be great. $20 would be better. $22 would be better. $21 would be better. I would love for Lego to be more affordable. This is not one of the more egregious examples of Lego being overpriced. In fact, I would say this is about average or good or standard, and I'm not like really trying to rack my brain trying to make sense of what the value is here, and I'm not like trying to figure out how Lego might value some of these things versus what like I might value. It seems like it kind of adds up to me, so it's a good amount of stuff just in this one box, and so I think the price is fine. I liked this set a lot, and I can't wait to look at more of the Lego City Jungle Explorer sets, so I'm looking forward to that. This was a great introduction, and I think that's it. So if you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more Lego City, more Lego City Jungle Explorer, and then tons of other Lego sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming Lego videos. Subscriptions help me a lot, mean a lot to me. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so maybe we can get there someday. Maybe by the end of the year. That would be incredible. So I would love that. If you're not subscribed, maybe consider subscribing. It does mean a lot to me. And then if you wanted to support this channel in a different way by giving money to the channel, that's extremely helpful. You can do that here on YouTube with memberships, supers, and thanks. And I have the Patreon. It's in the video description on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks. So if you wanted to financially support the channel, all the money will go back into the channel, and it's a big help. It's not needed, it's not necessary, but it does make a big difference. So I appreciate it. And with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.